Hi, today we're going to talk a little bit about the International Activity Badge for the Beavers section. This is quite an obvious one that can be quite easily linked into the Chief Scouts Bronze Award. Given the Chief Scouts Bronze Award has the My World Challenge Award as one of its prerequisites, and the International Activity Award, International Activity Badge you see on screen has a lot of aspects of it that are part of that My World Challenge Award. So we're going to dive right in as we go. I'm going to talk a little bit about other badges that can be related to this one quite well. So here we have learn a song, play a game, or perform a dance from a different country. I would mention very quickly that different parts of the creative activity badge, for example, is to do with performances. So performing a dance certainly counts as an aspect of that creative activity badge that exists. Additionally, if you play a game that requires these imagination, that's a different part of the creative activity badge as well, which has to do with imagination. Beyond that, if the song is some kind of prayer or reflection, then you could go ahead and teach that to those young people as part of this and earn towards the faith activity badge. Although just bear in mind sensitivities surrounding what you choose. I would go for some kind of pretty secular or cross-faith kind of song for that personally. If you mix the song up with perhaps some instruments that you are passing around, that would count towards the musician staged badge potentially. But the main thing is that this counts towards a My World Challenge award. If you take part in activity from another country, for example, as it says here, that counts towards an element of that My World activity sort of challenge award. Number two here, find out about Beaver Scouts or Younger Scouts if you don't if you don't have Beaver Scouts, apologies there, in another country, what they call themselves, what is their uniform, etc. Again, this is a part of the My World Challenge Award. In fact, it's one of the more difficult parts of the My World Challenge Award to usually stumble across while doing with the badges. If you sort of see the differences between your um, your way of doing beavers and different countries, that counts for this. Especially the uh, taking part in an activity that reflects an aspect of your national identity, essentially, which is part of the My World Challenge Award. If you take the moment to discuss the Beaver Promise, then that would also be part of the My World Challenge Award too. Beyond that, if we switch back to the third one here, play a game to match flags in their countries. That's a pretty simple one, but essentially it's just to do with recognizing flags. It's one of the more useful skills really out there. Flags are the way that sports teams sort of show themselves on boards and things. Um, Being able to associate a country with a flag makes it easier to recall information about that particular country because it engages your sort of optical centers of your brain as well as your sort of recalling centers. Very easy way of helping them learn a little bit more about geography and history by teaching them some national flags early on. There's not, unfortunately, much you can do with this one. Perhaps if you had let them draw flags from memory or copy flags, that would count as part of the creative activity badge and potentially count for the creative part of the My Skills Challenge Award too. Number four here, try different kinds of foods, vote for your favorite dish and explore why. Um, the easiest way to do that would be to buy some of the different food. But if you go the extra mile and have the beavers try and follow recipes to make their own versions of simple foreign food, that would count towards the cooking badge, cook activity badge. And it may also count towards things such as the health and fitness badge about why you should have a range of different kinds of foods, as well as that part of that health and fitness badge is to do with making yourself a snack, which counts for this too. Again, if you make this kind of food as part of this badge, it could probably count towards parts of the My World Challenge Award, as that is a activity that is sort of from a different country in a way, because other people in different countries cook that same thing. It's quite obviously got an international theme to it, as opposed to just cooking regular food. Beyond that, if you cook the food in teams, that's part of the Teamwork Challenge Award too. If you sort of appoint someone to lead each of those different teams. And finally, we have learn to say hello and goodbye in a language other than your own. Um, You'd think that this would count towards part of the communicator activity badge, because in uh, Scouts and around that kind of area, their version of the international activity badge requires you to learn, um, yeah, these phrases, but the communicator badge they use also does. Um, but the Beavers version of the communicator badge doesn't require that. However, if you were going to do the communicator badge, um, I would say that you could incorporate this as a another option of how to spell your name and how to write a message in code, quote unquote. It would be in a different language. That's really about it in terms of the ways you can link the international badge into other aspects of things. Um, really, perhaps parts of the digital citizen badge and interacting online with people. I know that stage 2 of the digital citizen stage activity badge is to do with interacting with people from different backgrounds. So obviously someone from a different country in a different language would count for that. If you run a Jota Joti jamboree, that's a international jamboree that we all sort of do across the world by radio or by computer. If you don't participate in that jamboree, then please feel free to. And you can quite easily get opportunities to talk with scouts from across the world in different languages, which is a very cool opportunity to do and takes nothing more than a laptop to participate in. That's about everything in terms of advice and links for badges. Hopefully that's been useful. Bye bye.